So it's so nice to meet you. I was excited yesterday and excited today about talking with you because we never interacted.
Yes, true.
We never interacted, not even online, and we are friends on Facebook. I don't know since when, but I've read some of your posts and I hit like in some of your posts, but we never had an interaction.
Yes, true.
Per se.
Yeah.
And when you send me a message that you desired to be in a talk with me, I was like, oh my God, so funny. I never talked with this woman before, and I'm so excited to meet her for the first time and talk with her. So this is like a very raw moment for us.
Totally.
Totally.
So, yeah, and it was just really, so you popped up on my feed here and then, and I always just liked what I saw. Sometimes I read your posts, not all of them, like kind of the same. And when I saw that what you wrote, it was totally clear. It was a yes, even if my mind was like, but what do you want to talk about? So I have no idea. It was
exactly.
Just felt very good.
Me too. And I really don't know what to talk about. Let's talk about the moment. Well, actually, it's funny because yesterday I was about to postpone our talk and everything that I scheduled this week, because the last 4 to 5 days, I was dealing with so much pain, like emotional pain, and a lot of triggers, a lot of things to dissolve and to look at. And I was just like, fuck, how am I gonna be tomorrow with Laura and all the people that are joining the conversations with me? And I said, it doesn't matter. Tomorrow it's another day. But I did ask for help to a friend of mine because I was really like feeling a lot of pain, and I was really freaking out with the pain, and my mind was thinking about that I was becoming ill or creating a disease. So I was really freaking out, and I was terrified of dying. I was feeling like I am going to die. And it was so real. The feeling was so real that when my friend, when I called him and he came to pick me up at my house, I just start crying in the car, and it was such a vulnerable moment that I had with him, and I was just like, I start really sobbing, like no control, not controlling the emotions, not controlling the feelings. And I was just telling him, I'm so terrified of dying. I don't want to die. No, this is not my time yet. I want to live more. And there was a time in my life that I had desired to die, that I wanted to die, that I didn't want to live. I want to, I don't know, evaporate, pixelate, to
evaporate.
I didn't want to be incarnate in the body. And this last five days, I realized that I wanted to live. I wanted to stay here, that my life is precious, it's important, it's valuable, and I have so much that I want to do so much more in my life. So this is not my time. But at the same time, I was feeling like terrified. What if my time has come? What if my time has come? So I had to feel all that yesterday while I was with him. He helped me, guided me. Well, he didn't help me because I helped myself. but he guided me through the feelings of that fear. You know, I don't know what I'm talking about this, but this is what is happening. I'm still feeling today. I'm feeling more at peace within myself. But yesterday I was just like, oh my God, I'm so fucked up. But this is something I want to bring through. Like all this on social media, we read a lot of posts of people, all the glitters, all the things that, the success, the things that people are achieving. But when it comes to feel this density, these emotions that are hard to feel, they are painful. And there's this tendency to not speak about this because this is hard to speak about. And for me, it's like there's a fear that I don't want to be perceived as someone that speaks about pain. But it's pain that I want to talk about today.
Mm.
Pain that I'm feeling called to talk about. And because I have repressed so much pain in my life. I think we all have repressed pain in our lives, all of us. But I'm talking about myself. And the last days, there was this huge block of pain that was ignited for some reason. And I had to deal with it. And it's like, yesterday I was feeling like shit, like, fuck, what the fuck is this? I don't want to die, but I have to deal with this. And today I woke up and I was like, oh my God, it was such a blessing. All this pain that I was feeling the last days. And now I can see today when I woke up, now I can see why I was feeling that. And I am not labeling it as bad, because yesterday I was labeling it as bad, like, oh my God, I'm not supposed to feel this because this is too much. I will be perceived as someone fragile, someone vulnerable, blah, 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 blah. And today I was just like, fuck, that was such a huge piece for me to feel.
Mm.
Like having the courage to really go there and feel the pain and not running away from it. And it was something that was really old, like 20 years ago. It was something related from 20 years ago, but it was coming now to be released, to be felt. And today I'm feeling so much more at peace with myself.
Yeah, that's beautiful. You look very alive, let's say.
If we had talked yesterday, I was like, I was crying and weeping, and oh my God, I was in the drama. And I was conscious. I was aware that I was in the drama. I was deep in the drama yesterday and the other days. I couldn't see beyond the drama. Nevertheless, all these pieces, these moments, they are really a blessing. But it's hard to see them as a blessing when we are with them, living with them. And today I was just like, oh my God, I'm feeling so blessed that I was in pain the last 4 days. And now something has flourished, it's not that something is new. It's like I'm closer to myself.
Yeah, that's all, like, that's all that is, which is so beautiful.
And I was avoiding that unconsciously. I was avoiding that. I didn't want to go to the pain. I didn't want to see the shit. And yesterday, after going there, I was just like, I started laughing. I was laughing and I was crying at the same time. And my friend was saying, can you feel it? You are laughing, you are crying at the same time. Enjoy it. You're a paradox. And I was like, fuck, this is a lot. It was a huge block of emotions that I was feeling at the same time. It was so beautiful.
Mm.
And I was just like, why do I avoid feeling myself, feeling this, feeling such raw uh, density? Because there is the only way out, way in is going through the pain.
Mm.
Feel through it. And sometimes I'm not even conscious about that. Anyway,
Mm.
because this is what I wanted to share.
Yeah, that's beautiful, and like it resonates with me a lot. Like death is something that's, I don't know if I could say close to me, because I realized also that I avoid it, even if I feel that I'm like very intimate with that. But I realized a huge part of me is not like dying, or I was suicidal when I was a young woman, and like then I was filled with grace out of nowhere, like no spiritual something. It was just like this raw wanting to die, and the next day to realize that like this is all just like a fucking game. And so I could live in that bliss for almost, I would say, more or less a year, where there was like everything was perfect. There was nothing, no inch to change. Like there was not this identification. It was just, I watched, like I put on TV and I had to laugh because I realized that's like not real, like that nothing is real. And I could play around with all these things like telepathy, and I had never written or heard anything about like these worlds, let's say. And so it was like, oh, I was kind of, but it felt totally natural. I did not even talk about it because it just was the way it was. And people were afraid that I like went crazy from totally depressed to absolutely joyful.
Mm-hmm.
Except my closest ones, because they kind of felt that like this is true. It's not like a mind game.
Mm-hmm.
So after kind of a year, that kind of like went away, like the identification came back very strong. And so since then, like let's say the spiritual path started. So it's almost 15 years. So you can imagine how full of content I am, or I was, and still there's a huge piece left from this healing yeah, like huge. And like for me it was, how can I lose this? Because it just was, it was not something I did, it was like a knowing, it was so natural. And then that kind of went away, and that part of density and came back. So like I was never depressed in that way anymore. But from there I started, like nothing was good enough for me, like nothing, because I knew there is more, like feeling all this separateness, or I don't know how to say, it felt so unnatural.
Mm-hmm.
So that I became kind of addicted of like dying, rebirth, dying, rebirth, dying, rebirth. So
Yeah.
and like the jungle find me, that was kind of a shift in my path. but still it was this, like I had to heal, because I know, so I was heading somewhere also. When I talk like in this timeline, and from there on I realized that I really wanted to die again, even if it felt very different. It didn't feel the same way as it felt when I was young. But I was like longing to dissolve, as you said, vaporize. So I can really relate with that, until like, I would say recently I truly felt like that I'm not honoring death, even if I thought I am, because I realized that like I used it to bypass life. So it was, so you don't honor death, you don't honor life, neither. And so there I really realized it, for me, it's about all these human experiences.
Yeah. That's
And
what I felt.
find kind of peace more. There's still this part of, I know there's still even more and deeper connection, deeper intimacy to feel, to live. But with this, really, it was such a relief of not wanting to get it. Like I really wanted to get it again. And that was like 15 years of my life.
Yeah.
Just trying to catch the, I don't know in English how to say, the carrot in front of your,
the carrot. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. You were just following like a goal, a result.
yes. And even if I knew, like I'm pretty intelligent with my mind, like I know the theory, but like really feeling into it and not realizing what it's about, just about feeling it, the paradox and all that is really like,
yeah,
opening up.
Because we read a lot of stuff on social media, people writing about stuff, talking about stuff, but being the stuff, being and feeling the real stuff. No, that's the real stuff when you feel it. And like it was not like talking about this this last 4 days that I was in pain. I didn't create, well, I did create this. It was not conscious. It was not, but it was not planned. I didn't plan, oh, next week I'm going to feel pain and I'm going to deal with that shit. No. So when shit appears, it's the time to feel the shit. And it's like, I was just like, now it's the time to feel the shit. Yes, now it's the time to feel the shit. Now it's the time to stop hiding, to stop repressing and just feel it. But I had to be honest with me. I had first to be honest with me and to have the courage to feel it. Because I didn't want to go there. I was like, fuck, I don't want to go there, but I'm in so much pain that I have to go there. Otherwise, I'm going to stay like this, and this is not comfortable, and this is not how I want to be, and how I want to live my life. So I have to really, it was like I was really pushed to feel it. And it was funny, well, not funny, but what was interesting was what that pain was attached to. And I was like, oh, I thought it was about something, and it's about a completely different subject. Do you have children?
No.
I do have one. My son is 19 years old. And the pain that came through yesterday was because there was such a memory from my past that somehow, when he was a little boy, I start thinking that I was a bad mother because I didn't know how to do better, and I did some stuff that when I look back, I feel bad about myself about doing that in the past. But in that time, that was myself doing my best. And so today I know better, I know more, but I was still feeling, or still, what's the word that I want to use here? I don't recall the words. I was still punishing me for being a bad mother in the past.
Which doesn't make sense, right?
Which doesn't make any sense. After 20 years, I'm still punishing me for having done that in the past while my son was 4 years old or 10 years old, and I did this and I did that, and I shouldn't have done that. I was negligent and I was this. And so yesterday, all that crap came through, and I was just like, fuck. I wasn't expecting this to come, this theme to come. I was expecting something regarding relationships or my job or my business or whatever, but it came something different, and we never know, or I never know what is coming through. I never know, and it's something. And what comes through, it's always something that is new. It's always something that I never know what is coming. And that is terrifying for me. Like, oh my God, I don't know. And being in that not knowing scares me the shit out. And so yesterday I was just like, yeah. And I read all those spiritual EP posts about doing this and doing that and blah, 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 blah. And I just, there is so much more to feel, so much more, much more deep to go than just, for example, saying words of affirmation. I could have said words of affirmation.
Wow.
It wasn't working because I had to feel it all through. And I don't see, and I don't read, perhaps might be someone out there writing and exposing about this stuff, but people talking about pain, about what dealing with pain, like in empower, talking about pain, but empower. For example, right now I'm talking about this, but I'm not feeling like I'm a victim for my pain. It's like I'm owning that shit. You know?
Yeah, it's always the energy behind, like you can feel the energy behind when you read a post or when someone is talking to you, like what's behind there. And I think that's the different, whatever you do or you don't, doesn't matter. It's about like what's the frequency behind. So
Yeah,
this is the different that you can sense.
exactly. And I was just like, okay, so I've been writing about this and that so online, and now I feel that I want to write about pain. And I was just like, this morning, oh, I'm going to talk about pain. Oh my God. Are you fucking crazy, Dalida? Yes, but that's what I want to talk about. And right now, like my body, I'm feeling uncomfortable just talking about pain. It's like there is shame around it.
Totally, I can relate to that.
I'm feeling like I'm completely squeezed inside, really tiny, feeling really small inside of me talking about this. And this is so funny. I'm talking with you, and it's like I'm doing all the process within myself. Yeah, why do I feel uncomfortable talking about pain? It's like I'm afraid that I will be perceived as someone who talks about shit.
Yeah. I know that one.
You know?
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
coming now, I'm just
That I
like,
don't get it, that I'm too stupid, that I'm like too arrogant and too, which I often am.
oh my God.
It's really about, come on, you still don't get it. And I know like all this confusion when talking, like when I talk, I already feel the bullshit you're talking, but still I found kind of more peace to still talk, even if you know that's bullshit. Because like you cannot grasp the deeper truth to speak. So then just talk bullshit, which is like more than enough for a lot of people.
Oh my God, this is really interesting. It's like with the work I've done yesterday in feeling what I was feeling yesterday. I am so open right now that I'm feeling all a big chunk of sensations right now in this moment. Like,
Oh, I can feel it. It's so beautiful.
yeah,
Like right now, I really can feel it.
it's like, yeah, it's the shame of talking about exposing something that being seen as someone who's is talking about emotions and talking about, well, like for example, I'm talking about myself. That's why I have created this podcast this season. And I'm, like I did that post in that day. It's just like I just wanted to create more episodes for the podcast, and I had no idea who was going to show up, if I was going to do any more episodes. And here I am talking about really uncomfortable and exposing shit about myself. And I'm going to be airing this podcast pretty soon.
And how beautiful, like you look while talking about, like it's very erotic. I mean, that's like, which maybe for our mind, it's difficult to, and for me, it's easy because like I'm just looking at you. I don't have to deal with myself right now because I'm talking about you. But like, it's really erotic the way, like that piece that you're maybe ashamed around and you own it and you talk about it, like the vibration in your body, the cheeks a little bit, like
I'm feeling everything in my body.
oh,
I'm feeling
that's
so
so
hot.
hot.
Yes, and I'm feeling very hot right now. It's like the energy, it's moving in my body. And I'm just like, oh my God. Here I am talking with a stranger, exposing myself. Like, oh shit. Oh
um, love it. Don't let me do that.
my God. Unless you want to go there.
Yeah, I don't know right now. With what?
There was something that I was thinking this morning. A question that I wanted to do to yourself, to you. I forgot. I don't remember. But I'm feeling all the feelings right now. Shit.
Mm,
What do you consciously or unconsciously try to avoid
like in
right now?
right now, I don't know. I don't feel that I have a lot of like secrets. I'm just, it's more like since many months I didn't do something like this,
Mhm.
like to show up like in a space outside for people that I don't know. That is maybe there wasn't like this, then like this vulnerability came back of not wanting to be really seen, just working with my clients because I know that's just pretty cool.
Tell me, what do you do? I know you love plants. I know you are like a woman from the forest.
Forest woman.
Forest woman.
I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, I love plants. I love mushrooms and I work with them a lot. So first for myself, and then this kind of came into the way I started to work with people because for me, it's like they teach me intimacy as so like relationship. That's my biggest struggle in life. So maybe this is something I didn't
Go there.
talk about. Your laugh, I love it. This sneaky laugh.
Tell
So,
me more about relationships.
oh,
What is your biggest struggle? What is the thing that you most struggle with in your relationships? Is what?
I think to really stay intimate with myself in a relationship.
So you
And
abandon yourself, you get lost.
yeah, not so much anymore, but then it's more, I think, to combine sexuality and relationship in the long term, that's kind of an issue. So I don't know if like sexuality is the bigger issue than relationship. I think they're like intertwined.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's more this and more that, but like in together, that was always like a big issue for me. So like I had really to leave, like the classical ones, you just choose to leave to feel yourself and to be turned on about yourself again, because you're not able to do it in the relationship. So the last years was really about this because I always left because it was like so, and I had beautiful relationship, like I think like I had beautiful men. Now I'm with a woman. So it was not about, well, it's never about the other, but I would
Yeah.
say like it was a beautiful, like also intimate relationship, but I always knew this is what I'm saying. So in my life, I always knew there is more, and I always know there is more. So it's pretty hard for me to be satisfied with what I have, which leads to that like the more is never available to you. So that's a big struggle for me.
Okay. Interesting.
And for me, with to close the gap with plants, they really teach me intimacy, because I go into a relationship like I really like am open to receive, and I want to know. It's like knowing someone and having to be like open to get the information, to get the frequency, to dance with it. And there is like no shadow part on the other side that I could like project to. So I'm always left with myself when I work with plants. So, and that helped me really a lot to understand myself better and to understand the dynamics, like the power dynamics in relationships, like not the shadowy one. And with like other people, I tend to, or like in relationship, I tend to not be quite sure. So what is like just my shit and what is theirs?
Mhm.
Because there's this mixture of
Management.
content. Yes. And with
Yeah.
plants, this is not what happens. So I can get, and they're really like, they can penetrate quite heavily. It's not like just an easy flowing journey sometimes.
Mm.
But I just love the fact that I am left with myself and can connect so much more deeply and realize also while I'm journeying with this plant, how it, what I do with the plant, or like the stillness I have when working with it, which I do not have like in my relationship. And so I can, with that knowing and that experiencing, I go into my relationship and play with this and realize like the energetics is always the same. So this is, and plants came to me like out of nowhere. I just was sick and I was looking for a shaman, and I went to the jungle, and there all that started. And I really fell in love so deeply. And they teach me, yeah, love.
Yeah.
I really can sense it. And it's not about the plant, it's really about that stillness in being in relationship with yourself, even with different frequencies. But to need to be able to dance with those, the more you are aware in your body, in your own field, the more beautiful that relationship comes out, or like the more juicy it is and more fascinating and magical it is. And so this is what I apply for myself in my life with my relationship, and that helps a lot also. And when I work with people, they do the same. And sometimes I also hide behind the plants, you know, I could just talk to people, but it's, for me, it helped so much because sometimes I was just like very tired of listening to someone. So I just wanted to listen to myself. And with plants, you listen to the frequency, but like you just listen to yourself while in this field. And so I invite people to do the same. And of course, I can read the language of plants very well, depending on which one that I work with. And so I can help them translate some stuff that they might not get or like not realize, but it applies of their lives. It's not like something you do, and it's just awesome. I just love to do this.
It's like you it's like symbols, symbolic language. You catch the frequency and you translate that frequency to your clients.
Yes, and it's very different because everyone has like different way that they perceive. And it's really like the plant can work very physically. So I have a client now that with Wisteria, and she has really all this I don't know in English the word, that feeling in her body all over. Like tingling kind of
Tingling, yeah.
Feeling. So for some it's more physical, and most of the time it's a mix. Often in the dreams, like the dreams have a specific frequency. When it's a dream of a plant, it's different than when you just have a dream because you're subconsciously working on something.
Wow, it's so interesting you're talking about the dreams, because I had some dreams last week, and those dreams triggered me.
Yeah.
They were bizarre.
I love bizarre dreams.
Bizarre. And I was just like, fuck. Again, it's like I have a recurrent dream. I dream with my car, vehicle. And it was when I started having those dreams last week, it was the trigger. I start, there is some kind of information that is wanting to coming through. And now you said the dreams, and I was just like, yeah, was that day. So you were saying that there are different dreams with the plants and dreams without the plants. They are different also.
At the end, it's just all the same. But how I experience it, when you work with plants, the dreams that's coming from the plant has a different frequency. It's like, it's about that going on. But the same can happen to you, as you said about that dream. You might have known this is like a different dream, maybe like has a different frequency about something that is really going on. And it's not just like dreaming. And so, for example, also if the spirit of the plant comes, like shows, I just love those moments. You just know, it's like lucid dreaming. In a dream that this is the meeting. It's just reality in that moment. It has a different frequency. So a lot of people might have more access through dreaming, others because what happens to them in their daily life, which might be different than usual, or like stuff coming out. With the rose, it's a lot about sexuality.
The rose?
Yeah, working with the rose, for example.
Like the flower? The flower itself?
Yeah.
So interesting.
Yeah. When I worked the first time with the rose, I had really, it was very physical. I got like an issue down there, which I never ever had before. And so I knew that was the plant working. I just could feel like this is different. And they said to me, I have to go to the doctor because that could be very bad, an infection. Could be, and I just knew it doesn't feel right to go to a doctor to cut it off, because I felt this is a plan working. And so I decided not to go to the doctor. And then I was like, okay, what the fuck am I doing now? So if this is going bad. And so you just connect more deeply and you just trust what you know. And so I drummed a little bit with my drum, and then like an insight came to me to put a cream on it that I had from the jungle, which then I did. And that night I had a dream. I was half awake. It was lucid dreaming, and there were like doctors working on this thing that I had. And like in the dream, I just knew, okay, everything's gonna be okay. And the next day it really opened up, and then it could heal.
Wow.
And it's not even about what happens, it's how you feel and what you know about what happens that makes the difference. It connects you so deeply with your knowing. And I love to do it with plants because I just feel so connected to them. And they have also, I love to play. So about relationship, maybe, I'm having a hard time to be with one partner, which I did my whole life. I always had like one partner at a time. But I love the taste of everything. Like I also, when I have to choose between two things, people say or might say it's like you just don't know precisely what you want. And I get that, but I just love the idea of having both. So that is kind of a little bit something that I struggle with, or I'm ashamed with it, because I just love the juiciness of having it all.
Yeah.
And so with plants, I totally can play. I can explore what just calls me in that moment.
You don't feel that much restricted with plants.
Yes, and I know that restriction is human made. It's like, and I think there is the part of me that I'm still like jungling with, like being with, and because it has both sides. It's avoidance in one way, not wanting to be really intimate with the person you have, and at the same time it's like what is what. So there is the insecurity that I have, and that I might be also ashamed of. I can feel like right now. Yeah. that I don't get it, like, that I'm not confident and sure this is it, this is what I want, this is what I don't want.
And then you are afraid that somehow you will expose that and someone will just pop out and just say, no, because you're not in integrity with yourself, you're not.
Yeah, I heard that a lot. Yes. And most of the time there's people that saying that you really like feel, yeah, they know it.
Yeah.
And so, but I really learned to appreciate also, because I can sense what it does to me. And if just people want to throw their shit on me, then it's easy for me. I don't care. I care about people that I know that they have really a deep intimacy with themselves, and like that little piece. I feel that I have a deep intimacy with myself, and I just know there is more. So to dance in this space, it's like I will always have to relax into it.
So beautiful. And that is part of our humanity. It's like
humanity sucks sometimes.
Yeah, I know that my human part, it's like it's unavoidable. Yeah, I cannot avoid being human. I'm human. Fuck. Yes, this is a matter I have to deal with till the end of my life, till my death, physical death. And yeah, the last 2 years, no, not the last 2 years, but there was a time that I was completely avoiding the human in me. Like, no, this is shit. I want to be like this. I want to be like that, blah, blah, blah. And there is a time where you will be forced to face your human.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
Because yes, you are here incarnate.
To play with it. Like, I still believe it's a shit show, like the human.
Yeah, it is a shit show. We do and say shit, but it's our individual shit. We are playing with our individual shit. We are doing our show, and it doesn't matter how it will look like to the others. It's our shit, our show. But somehow I'm still ashamed about it. I still feel some shame about exposing and talking about my humanity. Like, if I talk about my human, I'm gonna be less than other ones that are, like over there, which is an illusion, obviously, because there is no there. There's only here now.
Yeah, to be true, right?
Yeah, our talk
right now, and what's going on right now, that's it. And sometimes I like to avoid what's here, because I knew what I knew, and I still know what I know, but still there is this density playing its games with me. So I feel a lot schizophrenic sometimes.
Me too.
Oh,
you said the word.
I would like to have I never drink alcohol. Right now, I would love to. It feels like the moment to have.
I was saying that word yesterday with my friend. I said, I have no patience to myself. I feel like I'm a schizophrenic, feeling so much at the same time. And yeah.
And it is like, it is not true, but who cares?
Exactly.
Because you have the experience. So for me, it was, what I feel gave me this relaxation, that I can feel the juiciness, to have, like, to feel. And this body, for me, it was this like, of course, that this voice always telling you that like you're too arrogant and you're whatever the voice is telling you. And it's so before it was neither I believe that voice or like I identify with it and feel shame, or then I like tell myself, no, that's not true, that I'm wonderful. And both of these didn't feel right to me, both felt so, it's just like that genius of this structure coming in like from behind the door again. So what I felt for me is to feel that and to be with all this, to feel it all. And then it's not something that you do, but this is the moment, and kind of choosing not to go for, like, say yes, true, but not even to go back and like feeling so to protect yourself, but just stay there and like go just from there without moving anything, without the mind can do whatever it wants. And from there I felt like this really, the connection to my heart, which I don't like to talk a lot, because the heart for me is also such a, in many ways people love to talk about the heart, and I feel so much shadow about that. But when I can sense it for myself in those moments, I can feel like, yes, that gives me the relaxation to stay still. So it's still about the heart at the end.
In love.
Mm.
And we avoid because it's lame. This is lame. Talking about love and talking about heart. This is so lame. I will be perceived as a lame person.
Mm.
Who cares?
Because a lot of people talking about love really bores me to hell. It's like I don't feel it.
Exactly.
And I don't know what love, well, kind of know, but I really know what it is not. Like, and I'm still figuring out so many parts that it's not love, which people talking that it is love.
Yeah.
But for me, it's about just realizing, okay, this is not it, this is not it, this is not it, this is not it. And so I prefer not to talk and just to what? I don't know. Just to be. And the moment there is the love, you just know. And mostly it's when I choose not to go neither back nor forth, to stay still. And it feels like a choice, but I'm not sure if it really is.
I know what you mean.
It feels like taking responsibility for what is, but I'm not sure if that's true.
It's true for us right now to be here. There's nothing more. Nothing else more.
Let's have a sip of the.
This is the truth.
Mm.
And it's the only moment where we can live love and truth is right now. So the moment you want to leave, the moment I wish to end this episode, it's the moment when our beings want to do something else. I didn't put a time frame on the on this moment because I didn't knew and what we were going to talk about. And so far it's been so beautiful. We have shared so much, like we are completely strangers, and we are sharing love and showing ourselves, exposing ourselves, our struggles, our what we are most ashamed about. And that is something really beautiful that most people don't do.
Yeah, it is. It is the moment you realize that it does not have power over you. The way people react on it's like it all goes back to yourself. This is what I realize. Whatever comes my way, it has nothing to do with myself. Just how I feel about it has to do with myself.
Exactly.
Mm.
Yeah. Owning our feelings, owning I think the question that I wanted to do this morning has something to do with owning something, with owning part. Anyway, it doesn't come. No, Laura. So for example, yes, now it's coming through. Talking about business, I still have my online business, but I was struggling in the past with money, with having my ends meet and my needs. So I had to find a job, and I was feeling shame about it. It's like, fuck. Now it's like if I was going backwards in my life. Like I had a job, then I started my online business, and I didn't create enough money, so I had to find another job again. And I was feeling a little bit shame around it. Like, oh my God, I did not succeed. I'm still not owning what I really want to do in life. And I was putting so much pressure on myself. Like, as if I should already have a successful business, online business. I was putting a lot of pressure on myself. And that is something that I do often. I put a lot of pressure on myself. Like being a perfect mom, being someone successful in my business, being perfect in every fucking way.
Having it all figured it out, right?
Yeah. So yeah, I had to find a job and I got it. I didn't find a job. The job finded me. It was something that just fell on my lap, and I was just like, oh, this was easy. This was easy. I almost did not made the move, and on one day I was just working in a job, and like 2 weeks ago or so, I was just like, okay, so I want to change my bio from Instagram and Facebook. I'm gonna expose. I'm gonna put the truth. What am I doing right now? Now I'm doing this. I'm a brand ambassador for Bacardi Martini, and I'm also doing online business. But the truth is, this is what I do. I'm not gonna lie about this. Well, as in the past, I would, for example, write, I'm a coach or I'm a mentor or whatever, but on my real life, I was doing other things, you know? And I don't want to do that thing anymore. I want to be honest with myself first and foremost. And although it seems like a tiny, insignificant thing to do, it is actually the truth of my moment. This is the truth. So this is what I'm doing. I'm doing this, and also I'm doing that. But but how can I say this? The majority of my time working time is spending on this job. So I had to deal with the shame about writing that. But this is me owning what is true for me. It's my life. No one has, it's none of any business. No one has nothing to do with it. And it's like it's dealing, it's not that it is like, it's me dealing with myself and with true, with honesty, like being honest, not not trying to amplify something that I am not, or to get something, or to show up as some, showing up and making myself bigger than I actually am.
Well, you are, but I know what you mean.
Exactly. Knowing that I am and being that is something. Trying to
Yes,
be that person.
like the person to being
The
the
person. That is a total different show.
show.
Because when
Yeah.
I am. I don't need to amplify myself. It shows.
Yeah.
Like, for example, a moment ago, I was feeling all the shame and I was getting my face red. I was being. I was not trying to be
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So that is the gap that I am
Closing.
closing and closing and closing every day a little bit more, a little bit more. And I don't know what is coming next, the next moment. For example, when I end up this call, this meeting moment, what is coming next?
I felt a little bit the same about, I was in the jungle for a few months, and then I came back, and it was like these lives I had, like I worked a lot with money for 2 years, like really clearing all that money shit and shadow I had of my life, and was pretty intense. And then I went to the jungle, who's like everything is totally basic, and then this frequency coming together, and I really had to find out like what is true for me now, like, because it's so fast that you want, or like, to relate to this kind of tribe or relate to that kind of tribe, and I really had to, so I didn't, also I hide it more, but it was really like I needed that to realize what is really for me right now. And I
Yeah,
realized that I didn't care at all about money anymore. Like, I really earned a lot, but I reinvested almost everything. And then when I came back, I had a lot of shame about, oh wow, there's not much left about that huge amount that I earn. And when I went through that, I realized like I really do not care. Like, it's totally, I just need what I need to survive. And with this, like, new energy came, new turn on about money again. So it's not something that is fixed. I really think that we're coded with like a way of what turns us on, of course.
mm-hmm.
And that can involve a lot of money or no money, or, but at the end, it's never about the money. It's really about the moment. And the more intimate you are, the money, like, so I feel very provided, and I know there is like more.
Mm-hmm.
But I had to go to that extreme and then to the other extreme to now figure out what's true for me right now, which in 1 year can be, or in a month or in a day can be totally different again. So for me, it felt like calibrating into truth, like, for me. So I had to to play on these extremes on both sides.
Yeah.
And I can imagine that you will, yeah, you working and then like.
Yeah, because I had money as a goal in my life attached, and everything that I was doing had money attached. Of course, not that it is a problem that is attached, but I was making a lot of meaning around it. Like, if I don't create money, it's because this and that and that. It's because I'm not successful. It's because I'm not doing things right. It's because I'm not being perfect. It's because, so I had a lot of density around. I still have around money, of course. But my, well, not lesson. How can I say this? It's like the real teaching is when you really don't have nothing. And there was a time like last year in April, 1 year ago, I reached a point in my life that I had no money, barely no money to eat, to pay my bills. I had no money. And I was provided with something right next to it in that moment that I wasn't expecting. And I was really, really like in the red line. And I was feeling so scared, because I have a son, and I had all these stories about how am I going to pay my bills? How am I going to feed him? How am I going to feed myself? But then something showed up, and I was like, oh, interesting. So I'm always really being provided, no matter how. So my learning process back then was to live with nothing and be okay having nothing, and trust that even with nothing, with nothing, with no money, I still would be provided in that moment. And I was. And I am always being provided since then. Like in many ways, shape or forms, through people, through money, through gold. Like my father gave me a huge chunk of gold he had at home. And I was like, oh my God, I wasn't expecting to receive gold.
Nice.
Yeah, it's like, wow. But I was telling this, sharing this because I wanted to go to somewhere, and now I forgot.
I think
I know. It's like those abundance and prosperity. Well, that is cool. It's cool to feel abundant. It's cool to feel prosperity. But you will inevitably you will have to feel the opposite, which is having nothing.
But I think when this relaxation comes, like when you're attached to something and then you lose it all and you realize that you're not going to die, like this kind of relaxation comes in and you're like, okay, I'm not going to die about this. Like I'm still here. That from there, I think like what's really true for you will arise, because it's not that controlling or avoiding energy behind. So for a lot of people, is about losing money, but for some it could be also like they just say, I don't need money. I'm happy like with nothing. And I was also in a lot in those fields, which is pretty nice. They're very close to nature and all these things. And so I don't need money. I'm very happy with that. But you can still feel the shadow behind, because they do not have a choice, or they believe they do not have a choice. So they choose to want that. And also a lot is because of shadows around money, because money is bad and all
Blah
these
blah blah
things.
blah blah. Yeah.
So in both sides, when like being true to maybe what's really like, do you really feel that? And then about the relaxation that comes when you experience that you kind of die, but not really. Like that you're provided, as you said. Then with this relaxation, you can start to play.
Yeah.
And for me, it comes in waves. Like it's not like I've done it once and then sometimes it's like this in some things. It's very easy, and like the bigger ones, like it comes a little bit in waves, but the wave is like it's not like this anymore. And then you realize like that you can play.
Yeah.
And so now I would say it's time for me to make money again, because it really turns me on. Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny
Now
because I
that
was
we're talking, it's like, how is it for me right now? Yeah, I think it's time to make money again. But
exactly.
it's not the, yeah. You can focus on that, but at the end, it just comes when you do what you love or what is true.
Yeah.
I don't think it's my genius field, but I had a lot of shit around money, like
Yeah. I'm not an expert on
thousands
money.
of.
I'm not an expert on money, so I'm not going to talk about that.
You know who you remind me? I just have to say, because I often see people as cartoons or
Okay.
Disney figures or
My God.
planets or so. You know that I don't know her name from Hercules, the woman.
Hercules.
You know the Disney.
I know the Hercules. The oh,
Yeah,
Hercules. Hold on.
the Disney, and then there is a lady in that. You remind me of that lady.
Oh my God. I see it right now.
Let's see. I find it. How is she called? Megara.
Megara.
Yes. Like, can you see her?
Ah!
Yeah, you have something from her.
So she's her is her wife from Hercules? No.
At the end, I think, like always in Disney, at the end is always
Megara.
Megara.
I never cancel. I have to hold on. Oh, so funny. It's funny because there was a time that I was called, people would call me like Jessica Rabbit.
Oh yeah. Ooh la
Because I
la.
had my hair, my hair was red, and she has also kind of
Yeah. Curvy.
curvy. Yeah, I know what you mean.
It's something about her attitude.
Yeah, I'm becoming much more myself and feminine, you know. I don't want to go through the feminine and masculine energies, but
It's
yeah,
confusing.
no, no.
Just talk about
And
yourself.
not a turn on anymore. Not a turn on anymore. It's just like,
You know,
no.
I love men all my life. Now I love a woman. It's like, don't talk to me about masculine, feminine, even if I believe that I have pretty good feeling about it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. A knowing,
Yeah.
yeah, but something that has been flourishing and booming in myself is this feminine,
Mhm.
more relaxed, more stillness,
Yeah.
more nothing,
Yeah.
more emptiness, but with
Mm.
shit coming, yeah. Anyway,
Oh,
I think we are
yeah,
done. I'm feeling
yeah,
it was so nice to have this talk with you.
yeah, it was very nice. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
inviting people in your field. It was a pleasure, yeah, to meet you and to feel you. It was really, yes,
Juicy, like you said.
yes, and it's like, why we tend to not be that raw? Because when you experience this with someone else, you can sense how the beauty of it. So yeah, it was
I felt a lot during this conversation.
a beautiful reminder. Like, it's not a reminder, it's a taking part. Thank you.
Thank you. It's like, yeah, the aliveness, being alive, being human, being ourselves.
Yeah.
Have this, I forgot the word.
Being alive, that really, like, yeah, that really touches me. I can feel right now. It's so simple and it's so deep. Yeah.
The presence.
So honor that so that you can honor life.
Yeah.
And honor life, in my case, that you can honor that, because I believe that is very close to me. But I needed to honor life first so that I don't use death as bypassing of life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. What a pleasure. And
Pleasure.
you will pop up on my feed for sure.
I will.
Have a nice day.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.